Good afternoon, guys. So today we are going to talk about VTP. So in the previous session, we have talked about like what is VLAN, how to configure VLANs, what is inter VLAN routing, how to configure inter VLAN routing, how to configure inter VLAN routing with the help of router. We talked about how to configure inter VLAN routing with the help of multi-layer switch. So we have talked about all these things practical manner as well as in a theoretical manner. Okay, so today's agenda is VTP protocol, VTP, which is called VLAN trunking protocol. It's a VLAN trunking protocol. Okay, now the question is why we are using the VTP. What is the purpose of using VTP? So just assume you're working in an organization and in your administration you have around 10 switches. So you have 10 switches to maintain. So you just get a mail from your superiors that you have to create VLAN 1 to 50 in all 10 switches. So how you configure all these VLANs in each and every switch? So what you have to do, you have to take access of like switch 1 and you have to configure VLAN 1 to 50 on that. In the same manner, you have to take access of switch 2, then again you have to configure VLAN 1 to 50 and so on. So you have to do it like switch 10, then you have to configure like VLAN 1 to 50, right? This is the traditional approach that we are normally using. So just assume like you receive another email, you just receive another mail, and in that mail they said, okay, now delete VLAN 25 and 27 from all switches. So again, you have a new task that you have to delete VLAN number 25 and 27 from all these switches. So how you do achieve this thing? To achieve this thing, well, again, what you have to do, you have to do this task again and again. So again, you have to take access of a switch 1 and you have to say, okay, delete VLAN 25 and 27. And you have to repeatedly do this task on each and every device. So like switch 1, delete VLAN 25 to 27. In the same manner, after a few minutes, you just receive another mail that you have to create a new VLAN, that is VLAN 105. So again, what you have to do, you have to take access of switch 1, then you have to configure VLAN 105. And in the same manner, in every switch, you have to do that thing. Okay. Right. So this is a traditional approach. So in this approach, in this thing, you have to repeatedly do the single task multiple times on a multiple devices, because we have a multiple devices to maintain. So we have to do this work repeatedly each and every time. So Cisco designed a protocol called VLAN trunking protocol. So VLAN trunking protocol is a Cisco proprietary protocol. And what the principle of VLAN trunking protocol says, so instead of doing individual work, what you can do, you can create a server inside it. So as per VLAN, what we can do, we can create one switch as a server. Like this is my switch 1, configure switch 1 as a server, and rest of the switches will be client. Rest of switch will client. So whatever the configuration you want to do, just configure it on server. So like if you want to create 50 VLANs, just configure on server and it will automatically replicate it to the client devices. In the same manner, if you want to delete VLAN like 25 and 27, so just delete it from server, it will automatically replicate it to all the client devices. In the same manner, if you want to create any other VLAN, just make changes in the server device and client will automatically remove or perform that particular thing inside the devices. That is a functionality of a VLAN trunking protocol. So first thing, like VTP is a Cisco proprietary protocol. That means it is available for Cisco devices only. It will not available for other vendors. So like if you are using another vendor apart from Cisco, so you have an option of a GVRP over there. Okay, so GVRP is a protocol that is used for in other vendors, which is similar to the VTP. Second, in case of VTP, we have to define 4 things. So VTP is by default disabled. So VTP is by default disabled on Cisco switches. We have to first enable it. If you talk about VTP configuration, so if you talk about VTP configuration, we required some basic things inside it. So we required basically 4 things. What are those 4 things? First one is VTP domain. So you have to first configure a domain name. So like in the above scenario, you have to put all these switches inside one domain. So like my domain name is like Cisco. So all switches having a same domain name. Then after they are able to communicate with each other. So VTP domain. The second is VTP version. So we have a multiple versions of VTP available. So like we have version 1, we have version 2, and we have version 3. So version 1 is not in use. VTP version 2 is by default running, and VTP version 3 is also there. That is a part of a CCNP. So later on we discuss about that. What is VTP version 3? In the same manner, next is VTP password. So now you have to configure a VTP password, and throughout the domain, all switches must have the VTP password. And password will be similar. We can't configure different password on different devices. Otherwise, your client and server will not work. Okay. In the same manner, the last is VTP mode. So in VTP, we have a multiple modes over here. And that's a very important part of VTP. So we have a VTP modes over here. Okay. So VTP mode, the first is like VTP server. So this server is a by default mode. So if your switch is in VTP server mode, that means you are allowed to make any change in VLAN database. So that means you are allowed to make any changes in the VLAN database. So what kind of a changes you are allowed? So you are allowed to create VLAN, delete, rename, and modify. So you are allowed to create, delete, rename, modify VLANs. So that means you're free to make any kind of a change if your switch is in a VLAN server mode. Okay, so you are allowed to make any changes over there. Next is VTP. The next is VTP client. So if that's not a default mode, so default mode is VTP server. So if your switch is in a client mode, that means you are not allowed to make any change in VLAN database. So that means you are not allowed to make any kind of a change in VLAN database. So whatever the information relayed by the server, you have to accept all piece of information. So you can't make any changes inside it. Okay. So this is a VTP server mode. This is a VTP client mode. Third is VTP transparent mode. So here we have a new kind of a mode also, which is called VTP transparent mode. So what is the meaning of a transparent mode? That so like you are allowed to make any change in VLAN database. So you are allowed to make any change in the VLAN database. But whatever the changes you are going to perform, that affects locally. So changes affect locally. So like if you create any change in the VLAN database, like you have created a new VLAN like 65. So that 65 reside on a transparent switch only. It will not share information with the client and server and vice versa. So client and server is also not sharing any kind of information with transparent, and transparent is also not able to share any information with the client and server. Okay, so we have one more mode which is called VTP off mode. So VTP off means that you are not participating in VTP election. So if you configure any switch as a VTP off mode, that means that particular device is not participating in VTP election. So VTP off mode means so device is not participating in VTP election, any kind of functionality. Okay, so to explain this thing, what I'm going to do, I'm creating a topology like this, like I'm taking 4 routers, sorry, not switches. So I'm taking 4 switches. I'm configuring first one as a server, second as a client, third as a transparent, and fourth as a client. Okay. So what the configuration I'm going to use? VTP domain. So I'm using a domain like Cisco. Cisco is my domain name. Then VTP password. So password is Cisco at 123. VTP modes. So it will according to the above situation: server, client, transparent, client. And the last one is VTP version. So currently we are in CCNA. So first we are going to study version 2 only. Okay. So we are not using version 1 or version 3. So this is the configuration that I'm going to do. Okay. So first thing you have to remember while configuring the VTP, that between switch to switch, all links must be trunk. So the first thing that we have to do, we have to configure all switch to switch link as a trunk. Okay, so let's do the practicals. So 1, 2, 3. I'm taking 4 switches. So let me just fill some color. So like I'm choosing, yeah, that's a light in a color. Okay. Okay. So this is my domain name. So now we have to connect devices. Connected, connected, connected. So switch 0 is a server. This is client. This is transparent. Transparent. And again, this is a client 2. Client 2. Right? Inside, I'm going to write down the configuration that I'm going to use. So we are going to use VTP domain is like CISCO in capitals, then VTP password. So VTP password. What's my password? My password is Cisco at 123. Okay. VTP mode as per switch. VTP as per switch and VTP version. So currently we are using version 2. This is the configuration that I'm going to use on these devices. Okay. So first what we have to do, first we have to configure all switch link as a trunk. So we have to configure trunk trunk. So configure this one as a trunk, copy it, go to switch number 2, trunk. So also switch to switch link must be trunk. Go to CLI, enable conf t, host name is SW1, interface F0 by 1, switch port mode trunk, exit and do right. Over here, CLI, enable conf t, host name SW2. So interface range F0 by 1 to 2, switch port mode access, switch port mode trunk. In the same manner, move on to the third device. CLI again, enable conf t, hostname SW3, interface F0 by 1 to 2. So I forget the range keyword. Range, switch port mode, trunk, exit and do right. Same way, move on to the last device. CLI, enable conf t, hostname, router number 4, interface F0 by 1, switch port mode, trunk, exit and do right. Okay, now we have to, let's verify one more time that trunk is established or not. So move on to switch 1 and say show interface trunk, and you can say trunking is up over here. In the same manner, move on to client 1, then you have to say show interface trunk. Yes, we have a 2 trunk port, F0 by 1 and F0 by 2. CLI then do show interface trunk. So F0 by 1, F0 by 2. And again, go to CLI, enable do show interface trunk. Yes. So that means my trunking is up. So now we have to deploy the VTP configuration. So go to server, again CLI. So let me show you the default configuration. So before enabling the VTP, let me show you the default configuration. So do show the VTP status. So this is how we check the VTP configuration. So you can see that your device is capable of running VTP version 1 and version 2. VTP current version is version 2. Domain name is null, which is blank. VTP pruning is a different thing. We are not going to discuss over here. Then in the second section, like VTP operating mode. So VTP operating mode is server. So by default, I have already mentioned you that by default mode is VTP server. So all devices having a default mode of VTP server. How many VLANs supported locally? So it is saying 255 because this is the packet tracer. So packet tracer have its some limitations, but when you check in the real device, it will show that it will support 1 to 1005 VLANs, which is the standard range. Okay. In the same manner, number of existing VLANs, we have a 5 number of VLANs over here. I'll show you how how it is saying the VLAN number 5. The VLAN 5 count are there. Configuration division number is 0. Then we have a MD5 value. So these two things we will later talk about it. What is the meaning of a MD5 and what is CR configuration? Okay. So let's start with the configuration. So VTP domain name. So it's Cisco. Then VTP password, which is Cisco at 123. VTP version is 2 and VTP mode is client. Sorry, it's server because it's server. And you have to save this configuration. In the same manner, move on to client 1. Okay. So there's one more benefit by using this VTP. You don't have to configure the complete information in each and every switch. Okay, so you don't have to mention all these things manually. So your version and your domain name automatically pass from one device to another. But the condition is trunk must be up. So if trunk is not up, you are not able to exchange the information. Okay, again, conft. What do you have today? Let's verify do show interface trunk. Sorry, do show VTP status. So you can see this is my switch number. This is my client device. I didn't configure the domain name, but it already inherits that information. So in VTP, few of the information you have to configure in all the devices. Otherwise, rest of the information automatically inherited from the device. Okay, so you have to say VTP version to VTP password. So password is mandatory. So password is Cisco at 123 and VTP mode. Mode is client and do right. In the same manner, move on to the third device, CLI. Check do show interface, do show VTP status. You can see Cisco is already there. So we have to say VTP password is Cisco at 123. VTP mode is transparent. Rest you don't have to configure. This is my last device. Do show VTP status. You can see domain name is already there. So VTP version is 2. VTP mode is again client, and VTP password is Cisco at 123. That's it. Now move on to the switch 1 and check its VLAN database. How to check? Do show VLAN brief. So you can see these are the default VLANs that are available inside the router. Okay, so we have only the default VLANs currently. We have only the default VLANs. Okay, so let's configure. So VLAN 10, enter. VLAN 20, 320, let's 30, like 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Exit and do right. So let's verify it. Do show VLAN brief. So you can see here we have VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and 320. Move on to the client device. Go to the CLI and check. Do show VLAN brief. And you can see here we have a default VLANs over here automatically. So I just configure few VLANs on switch number 1, and at switch number 2, all those VLANs are available inside. In the same manner, if you want to verify, let's move on to client 2. Go to CLI, check. Do show VLAN brief. So it's from 10 to 100, then 320. That means by default, all VLANs are propagated from server to client. Okay. If you want to delete any VLAN, so just say, so no VLAN 320. So move on to the client device, CLI, and you can see in previous we have a VLAN number 320. Now we don't have a VLAN 320 over here. So if you want to delete, you can delete VLAN also. Okay, so 2 point is proved. Let's discuss the third point. Third point is that in client device, we are not allowed to make any changes. Okay, so we are trying to configure some VLAN over here. So I'm saying VLAN 110, and you can see there is a warning message that VTP VLAN configuration not allowed when device is in a transparent, sorry, when device is in a client mode. So when your device is in a client mode, you are not allowed to make any changes in the VLAN database. Okay. So client is only accept information from the server. It will not generate any information from its side. Okay, let's move on to the switch number 3, which is a transparent switch. So click on the transparent. I'm going to create some VLANs over here. So like VLAN 201, 202, 203, 204, and 205. So we have some VLANs over here. So do show VLAN brief. So you can see here we have a VLAN 201, 202, 203, 204, and 205. We have all these VLANs over here. Let's verify on server first. See, still there is no effect of transparent mode configuration. So still we have only standard VLAN range. So we have like 10, 20, 100, but we don't have 201, 202, and 203 and 204. We don't have those VLANs that are available inside the transparent mode. Even if you check on client 2, you can see we have a previous available VLANs over here. So if you ask me, Vishal, why we have a VLAN number 320 over here, because we have already removed all these things from the switch, then why it is having away? So because this is the drawback of a packet tracer. So packet tracer is not that much compatible software. So it is having some kind of issues. That's why you are able to see that. Otherwise, you are working in a real device, so it will automatically delete the information. So now you don't have to take access of each and every device and you have to configure. You just need to configure VTP in the topology. So once VTP is established, now you are allowed to create and delete VLANs inside the network. Right? Okay. So I hope you understand the concept of a VTP. It's a very small and simple concept of VTP. So let me show you some more information. Do show VTP status. Okay, so I need pen for that. Okay. So I'm talking about this particular operations over here. So there is a one field which is called configuration revision number. So what is the concept of a configuration revision number? And it is very important case of a VTP, that configuration revision number. So like configuration revision number defines that you have made multiple time changes. So if you make any kind of a change in the VLAN database, the CR value will increase by 1. Okay, so if you are making any kind of a change in the VLAN database, so the value will be increased. And how much it will increase? It will increase by 1. So as we know that only the server device is allowed to make any changes in the VLAN database. So that means server is having the higher CR number, or you can say all devices must have the similar CR value. So like we have done multiple times of configuration in switch. So my CR value increases to 30. So if you talk about client device, they are also having a CR value of 13. CR value of 13 over here. So whether you create any VLAN or you delete any VLAN, the CR value will be increased by 1. Okay, so in version 2, this concept of CR is very crucial, is very important, because just assume or just take a thought, like if client device is having a higher CR number. So like in practical scenario, it is very rare, but even just imagine a situation, just assume like your client CR number is like 30 and your server and other client CR number will be 13. So in that case, all domain members will follow the database of this client. Why? Because this client is having the higher CR number. That's why it is recommended that server must have a higher CR number. Okay, so just remember this principle that in case of VTP version 2, CR value is very important. And the device having the higher CR value will so the device which is having the higher CR value will have the database shared in the domain. Okay, so this is a very important point. Okay, now the question is, can we reset the CR value? No, we are not able to. So, or we can say we cannot reset the CR value. So you are not allowed to make any kind of a change in the CR value. But there are two procedures by which you can set your CR value to 0. So method 1, or you can say step 1. Method 1. So how to reset the CR value? So first thing is change your domain name. Change domain name. Change domain name. So what is the meaning of a change domain name? Like currently your domain name is Cisco. Change it to like Disco. So as you change the domain name, the CR value will reset to CR equals to 0. So whenever you make any kind of a change in the VLAN database, or you can reset it, the value will become 0. So this is the method number 1. Second, method number 2. So method number 2. So like here I have mentioned the value of server client, but I didn't mention the value of a transparent. Why? Because transparent switch always have a CR value of 0. So what we can do, instead of defining any other thing, okay, instead of defining any other thing, you can configure your switch as a transparent mode. So second method is config switch mode as a transparent mode. Transparent mode. And transparent mode by default have a CR value of 0. So this is how we set the changes over here. Okay, so this is how we deploy the VTP in our switches. Right. So I hope you understand all these things. If you have any kind of a question related to VTP, you can ping me, you can WhatsApp me. And along with this video, I'll also share a document file which is exclusively for VTP. You can go through each and everything. And if you have any doubt in the topic, definitely we will discuss. I'll give you multiple examples on that, and you can download this video and view this video and whatever you want. Right. So this is all for today. And in next class, we are going to talk about spanning tree protocol. Again, it's a layer 2 technology and a very important technology. So in the next lecture, we are going to talk about spanning tree protocol. So what is spanning tree? Why we use a spanning tree? What is purpose of that? Okay. So we are going to talk about each and everything related to that. Okay. So I was expecting that you are going through these lectures and you're understanding each and everything. Again, if in case if you feel any kind of a issue in understanding the topic, you can ping me. We can do live session and I'll resolve your query as per your requirement. Okay, so that is all for today. See you in the next class. Okay, good night.